Ahem.
Movies are weird.
Cutie Honey was a 1970s manga by Japanese comics legend Go Nagai. Nagai is an eccentric figure even in the field of Japanese comics and animation. His most lasting worldwide pop culture contribution will probably remain creating the entire super robot genre of human-piloted mechs with Mazinger, aka Tranzor Z, but in his homeland and among hardcore otakus worldwide, his name carries a more infamous legacy. His late 60s manga Harenchi Gakuen, or Shameless School, is considered the first introduction of explicit erotic situations, sexual humor, and graphic violence into a manga ostensibly aimed at a young audience. So he's basically the guy you can thank for inventing, "Nah, these ain't cartoons for kids, see, this one's got boobs in it." Now, he also made Devilman, Violence Jack, and Kekko Kamen, but one of his most famous other creations was Cutie Honey, a 1970s curiosity that looked like a magical girl superheroine story for girls, but was actually a sexy softcore parody of tokusatsu superhero characters aimed at teenage boys. The main character, Honey Kisaragi, is an android who resembles a teenage girl that can transform her appearance either for disguise or utilize special costumes and powers to battle the terrorist organization Panther Claw. The main hook of the series being that her costume changes take slightly longer than instant to happen, meaning that she's frequently glimpsed in the nude between changes. Because anime. The live-action movie made in 2004 was one of the first successful attempts at what has become a big business translating manga and anime-style visuals to live action, updating the story from its usual schoolgirl setting to urban Tokyo, and Honey into a college-age young woman who moonlights as an office worker, while her other teen or child characters from the manga and anime versions are aged up into a cop and a news reporter, respectively. It stars Eriko Sato as Honey, introduced to the audience while taking a bubble bath. Because it's that kind of movie. Hey, look, a cat! Anyway, the premise is that the evil Panther Claw organization is abducting young women to be used as a power source toward world domination by their leader, Sister Jill, who requires Honey's transformation power source to complete the process, whatever that is. To that end, she orders her lieutenants,
Black Crow,
Cobalt Crow,
Gold Crow,
Scarlet Crow,
to abduct Honey's creator, Professor Kisaragi. Goldclaw goes first so we can get a taste of what we're in for. Yeah, this is actually the movie. And then Honey shows up. Goldclaw is defeated, but Honey becomes the obsession of a tough cop named Natsuko she rescued during the gunfight. Natsuko, in turn, becomes obsessed with discovering the secrets of both Panther Claw and the mysterious vigilante, who has also drawn the attention of a reporter named Seiji who may or may not actually be a secret agent. Oh hey, I forgot to mention that Sister Jill is actually some kind of gigantic magical tree monster who has a butler and her own theme song, which is in English for some reason.
Sister Jill, such a glorious beauty, we live to serve you.
Anyway, since Honey didn't know that Panther Claw still had 3 other mini-bosses to throw at the problem, the professor winds up kidnapped anyway, leaving Natsuko and Seiji as her only allies. Honey is informed of this information while doing underwear aerobics while talking to a cat, because it's that kind of movie. During a battle with Cobalt Claw, who is interesting, Honey experiences actual fear and anger for what is apparently the first time, unleashing her full power to somewhat frightening results. This leads to an odd tonal shift in the second act, where without the professor to guide her, Honey becomes depressed and despondent, so Seiji and Natsuko step in to fill the mentor role she clearly needs, which means they all get hammered and do karaoke. The character dynamic here is interesting because it's all about subtext and undercurrent. In the anime and manga versions, it's usually explicit that Honey immediately becomes an object of sexual fixation for every man, woman, or miscellaneous she comes into contact with. And while it's fairly clear in this version that Natsuko appears to be crushing on Honey and Seiji on the both of them, it stays just under the surface, largely because Honey is being played as a Frankenstein's monster, naive, childlike mind in a full-grown adult body type of android and doesn't appear to have a concept of what sexuality is, much less what hers might be. Either way, everything climaxes in an attack on Panther Claw's suddenly revealed fortress, in which Honey battles the alarming Scarlet Claw,
女。
And Black Claw, whose sword is also a microphone and travels with a backup orchestra.
戦いそれは究極の喜びブラックローイな戦場
Before finally taking on Sister Jill in the form of an abstract light show climax wherein evil is destroyed by the powers of love and friendship.
なぜ抗う
Gee, this was a Gainax production, did you say? I'm shocked. Cutie Honey is bizarre, but also kind of wonderful. It remains one of the best attempts at making anime action work with human actors, even if the result sometimes looks like history's most elaborately photographed cosplay convention. Still, if this sort of thing be your thing, you kinda owe it to yourself to check this one out. It's pretty terrific. I'm Bob, and that's The Big Picture.